I've been practicing unconditional love. And in fact, just the word unconditional totally turns me on. And I've really been, like when you were talking about the relationship with your inner being, my inner being is so consistent. Loves everybody, loves everything. I mean, just really obvious.
Your acknowledgement of that is really talking about you more than about your inner being, because you wouldn't be able to perceive your inner being's perception of people if you were not in vibrational sync with it.
Right, and that's what I really want to
hear that?
Get more. I mean, what I'm doing is, I love contrast because it doesn't just give me clarity, it takes me into greater love, greater relaxation, greater softness.
Yeah.
And I love what I've been practicing is, let's say I get up and I'm happy, and I'm solidly happy to begin with in the day. But, you know, sometimes something comes in and somebody's not the way that's easy for me to love. The minute I do that, because I catch it before, I'm so clear on feeling good that the minute something doesn't feel good, I perceive it right away. And then I just relax and I say, inner being, how do you feel about this person? And I've opened into this
so
love.
You're catching the momentum at the early stages and allowing the momentum that is dominant within you to take over. This is step 4 living.
Yeah, and then what I've realized...
We're just going to interject the story. Most of you have heard it, but it's worth repeating here, about you're at the top of a hill, you've decided that you're going to play a game with gravity, your car is out of gear and no brake on, and so you just nudge it a little from behind and it starts its trajectory down the hill. And then you come to your senses and realize that gravity, in this case the law of gravity, is going to cause momentum that is going to have an unpleasant outcome. So before the momentum really takes hold, you step in front of the car and let it bump up against you, and it's easy to stop that momentum. Easy. Before it really gets going, to stop it. But if you're at the bottom of the hill trying to stop it, it's a bigger deal. Unsuccessful every time.
Yeah, and so now what's happened is I don't have any more buttons that are obvious. Maybe there's some, but they feel like they've all been, because I've looked at everything through the eyes of my inner being. And so I'm in this place where I feel really free. I feel really like I don't because of society, but maybe that's just my resistance, and I'm looking forward to let go of it. But I could just like be like a puppy dog to everybody, just kiss everyone and just like ravish them and just like, you know, love them up. That's what I want to do, and I do that vibrationally with people, and then I do it physically with people when they let me. And some of them do. And it's great, and I love that. And what I've really realized is that about my desires, I have wonderful desires. I love my desires. I love my desires. They're fun. And everything that I think about, I get excited about it. But what I realize is that I love who I become as I'm moving in the direction of my desire. That's the thing that really makes it so easy to be unconditional for me, because it's like, I know, like one of my big desires is to be...
Well, that's what we were talking about, because the desires do keep hatching, but your proximity to them means that there's no gap that's happening between the desire and where you are. So you're there in alignment, able to appreciate your progress right along with the source within you. Now, this is really worth thinking about, isn't it? Let's talk about a normal person, which you are no longer.
I know, I'm not normal.
And contrast is causing you to launch rockets that you're not up to speed with, and launch rockets that you're not up to speed with, and launch rockets that you're not up to speed with. So source is appreciating your expansion, appreciating your clarity, appreciating the variety, that the contrast that you deciphered in order to come to this new conclusion of desire. And so source is enjoying and benefiting and reveling in your expansion, but you are not perceiving it because you are not vibrationally up to speed with it. Where in the example that you're offering here, because you're doing the work, you're starting in the beginning of the day, you have accomplished the step 4 living that we've been talking about, which is predominantly feeling good. Now, with few exceptions, and they come up, but that's all right, As the desires are hatching, you're staying with them. And so what you just said to us may be the best description of the best benefit of staying up to speed with who you are. And it could not have been spoken before this day, given the unfolding of what came before that, which is in your alignment. And because of the conversation we just had with our friend about her friend who had made her transition into the non-physical, as you are up to speed with your desire, no vibrational separation between you, the appreciation for the desire that Source is feeling about this, because of your vibrational proximity, you're perceiving the appreciation at the same time. So it's real time. It's like what getting in the vortex really is.
And it feels like that reality is more real than what is manifest.
Well, that is manifestation. That is manifestation. That's why everyone wants everything. To have a desire for a desire and then have a desire come. To have a desire for an emotion, which is to feel good, and to be feeling good. To have a desire for love and to be in the state of loving. Talk about connecting with the trajectory that you set into motion before you got here, and then applying it to the details of this physical time-space reality. That's what it is all about, you see. And it cannot be about, and you alluded to this a little bit, it cannot be about the way others are perceiving you.
Right, yeah.
Because in the moment that it is about the way they're perceiving you, now you are perceiving their perceiving, and now they are a condition that is causing you to look outside yourself, and now the contradiction happens within you. Oh.
Although you can, when you're in an aligned state, imagine how you want people to see you, and then feel that and make that the reality, and then that comes in.
But listen to the distinction. You're creating your own atmosphere. You're not focused upon their condition.
Right.
So we're back to the same thing. You're deciding how you want to feel about them, ignoring the way they're behaving, and feeling about them the way you choose.
Yeah, and I've gotten freaking amazing at it.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me, like things that would have just thrown me to death are just now, I'm like, easy. Easy.
So you say to them, the potentially troubling ones, you don't trouble me anymore because I have a different version of you that I practice.
And I love you how you are right now because you are causing me to open up and to expand.
Oh, you
and
mean
to
the
become
contrast
more
is a
love.
good thing?
For sure.
That's step 4 living, isn't it?
And
the contrast that I have known in you has caused me to find something that I didn't know in you that has caused our relationship to expand. And my inner being is there knowing it, and your inner being is there knowing it, and I'm there knowing it. And because all of us are there knowing it, you have a greater potential of knowing it too, but whether you do or not is irrelevant to me. That's a condition that I am not going to participate in. Yeah.
But I do love that feeling of having my momentum be dominant, my vibration be highest. So I'm in a high, full-on, dominant momentum, and I feel like a vibrational dominatrix. I mean, I have nothing to do with that thing, but I feel like, because I literally go, and people I've known my whole life are buoyant and happy around me, and people I've just meet, we fall in love in a second. Doesn't matter how old they are, what sex they are. We just are embracing, in parking lots and grocery stores and everywhere, and it's so fun. And then I go into places where I work, and I can see the energy ensconcing the people of love, and I watch them get so first flabbergasted and then open. And what's so exciting is I can feel that this is just the beginning.
That was a question that we were going to pose to you. Does it feel to you that that is never ending?
Yes, that's what's so thrilling.
That's living eternally, happily ever after.
It feels like...
Well, they've all had about all the happiness they can take from you.
Okay. Yeah, because it feels like it's going to keep expanding and like, okay, now I have a good level of I have unconditional...
She doesn't care.
I know, I don't care. I have unconditional love. I have unconditional pleasure. I have unconditional fun. Can I talk about this word behave?
Yeah.
Be, have. What you be, you have. Do you get this? This is so easy. It's so fun. I love that. So I love being what I want, and then that what I want comes in. And that word, Esther used to tell the story about how she would use the word irrelevant. And I love words, and I look up the etymology of words, what words mean originally. And relevant comes from relever, which means to lift up or to lighten. When I heard that, that was when I first started learning about Abraham. I just took everything that lifted me and lightened me, and everything that didn't, it was irrelevant. And
but
that
there is another
makes
piece,
it so
there's another
easy.
piece to this that is the perfect time for us to have this discussion. And that is, we know you can feel it, but we want you to acknowledge it, and we want them to acknowledge you acknowledging it. So this is the perfect opportunity to have this discussion. Can you feel that all of these things that you're saying, I decided to do, and then I do this and I do that, can you feel the utter inspirational quality in all of that?
Yes, it's letting it happen.
Precisely. So it's putting the idea of deciding into a whole new place, because it's the creating of the atmosphere that allows the inspiration, that allows the going with the flow. So it is a sort of eternal trajectory of well-being that you've returned to. Do you like the understanding that there was a powerful trajectory that you have clearly rejoined, and that you still get to add impetus to that trajectory?
For sure.
And how do you add impetus to that magnificent trajectory? Contrast.
Yes. And loving the contrast, because it gives me an opportunity to go, well, this is what I really like, and this is what I really like, and
we're just trying to round everybody up to go along with loving the contrast.
Yeah.
But we want you to at least conceptually get this. And as you practice a little bit, the most wonderful thing about this universe in which we are all focused is that the law of attraction is utterly consistent, which gives you the opportunity to understand how it works so that you can utilize it to your joyous advantage. And so the piece that we were just wanting to bring home here is that as you speak of your decisiveness and about the way you're living life, we want to amplify that this is inspiration that's occurring to you. So now I want to go back to the step 1, 2, 3. So step 1 is the contrast before you knew so much about this was putting all kinds of things into your vortex. And all of these things that you put into your vortex and are continuing to put into your vortex are being tended to by source. And now anything that you do about deliberately soothing where you stand and creating an atmosphere that feels good to you is the only thing that you now have to do. Because all these other things that you will want to do and all of these other things that will be inspired to you will be inspired to you. In other words, what they're saying to you is the only thing you have to figure out is how to feel good when you wake up in the morning. That's the only thing you have to figure out. And don't move on to anything else till you've figured that out. And once you've figured it out, law of attraction will make you feel it more. And don't move on to anything else until you feel inspired to move on. And if you could just take this simple encouragement and test it out for yourself, you'll find yourself feeling like you've got a magic wand that just points over there and over there and over there and over there and over there. But you're also going to discover that the things that you're pointing at are, I want that experience because of the joy in it, and I want that possession because of the joy with it, and I want that relationship because of the joy in it. Everything that you're going to be pointing at is because you're going to get so hooked on this feeling of worthiness, clarity, rightness, right place, right timing. You live, we love you so much, in a situation comedy. With law of attraction bringing everything to you that matches where you are. And when you've made peace with contrast, it will be the comedy that we are telling you it is, rather than the dramedy or the tragedy. Yeah. Really, really wonderful discussion.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Stand if you think it's you. Yeah.